On the serene world of Velar, where the atmosphere shimmered in shades of blue and purple, the inhabitants, known as the Volari, led a calm and peaceful life. They were an inquisitive species, celebrated for their passion for exploration and the pursuit of knowledge. One day, while scanning the cosmos for traces of new life, their sensors detected an unusual transmission from a distant planet called Earth. The Volari were intrigued. They had heard of humans, the dwellers of Earth, but knew very little about them. The broadcast centered around something called extreme gardening, showcasing humans cultivating plants in the most unforgiving environments imaginable. Commander Norks, leader of the Volari exploration team, decided they must investigate. "Prepare the ship," she ordered. "We need to witness this ourselves." The Volari were highly advanced technologically, yet they had never considered gardening as a form of extreme challenge. On Velar, gardens were lush and abundant, nurtured by the planet's mild climate and fertile soil. The notion of humans gardening in deserts, underwater, or freezing conditions was both astonishing and puzzling. The Volari vessel descended through Earth's atmosphere, landing in a remote region known as Death Valley, one of the planet's hottest locations. As the Volari disembarked, they were met by a group of humans, all wearing wide-brimmed hats and carrying a variety of gardening tools. "Welcome to Earth," said a tall man with a sunburned face and a warm smile. "I'm Jake, and this is my team. We're here to show you what extreme gardening truly is." The Volari were mesmerized. The ground was dry and cracked, the air hot and suffocating, yet everywhere they looked, plants were thriving and vibrant. "How is this possible?" Norks asked, her eyes wide with wonder. Jake chuckled. "Humans have a saying, where there's a will, there's a way. We've learned to adapt and overcome the toughest conditions." The Volari observed as the humans worked, employing innovative techniques: drip irrigation to conserve water, shade structures to protect the plants from the scorching sun, and specially formulated soil to provide essential nutrients. Clearly, these humans were not mere gardeners. They were pioneers. Jake and his team guided the Volari to a nearby area where a gardening competition was underway. The goal: grow the healthiest plant within a set time frame using only resources available in the environment. The Volari watched in amazement as the humans began their work. As the competition progressed, Norks and her team marveled at human ingenuity and determination, observing how the gardeners collaborated, shared tips, and motivated one another. "Why do you do this?" Norks asked Jake during a break. Wiping sweat from his brow, Jake grinned. "It's more than growing plants. It's about challenging ourselves, learning new skills, and finding joy in the process. Plus, there's something magical about seeing life thrive where it shouldn't." Norks nodded thoughtfully. "On Velar, we never face such challenges. Our gardens flourish easily. I see now that overcoming obstacles brings out the best in us." Over the following days, the Volari traveled with the humans to other extreme environments. They visited Antarctica, where plants were grown in specially designed greenhouses despite freezing temperatures. They explored the ocean depths, where underwater gardens thrived with colorful coral and seaweed. In Antarctica, the Volari observed humans in insulated suits, setting up thermal lamps and hydroponic systems to nurture their plants. The contrast between the icy exterior and the warm, green oasis inside the greenhouse was striking. "How do you keep plants alive in such cold?" asked Tilra, one of the Volari scientists. "It's all about controlling the environment," replied Sarah, a member of Jake's team. "We use technology to maintain optimal temperature and humidity, a bubble of life in a sea of ice." Next, the Volari joined the humans at an underwater research facility in the Pacific Ocean. They witnessed marine biologists cultivating gardens teeming with coral and seaweed, using submersibles and diving equipment to tend the plants. "Underwater gardening must be incredibly challenging," Norks remarked as she watched a diver plant coral fragments. "It is," said Dr. Roberts, the lead marine biologist, "but it's also rewarding. We're restoring ecosystems and helping marine life thrive." Everywhere they went, the Volari saw the same creativity and determination. Humans using technology, teamwork, and sheer willpower to turn the impossible into reality. One evening, camping in the Sahara Desert, Norks and her team gathered around a fire with the humans. The desert stretched endlessly, yet the humans had created pockets of greenery. "How did you come to love gardening?" Norks asked Jake, who roasted marshmallows over the flames. Jake smiled, staring into the fire. "It began as a way to connect with my grandfather. He was a farmer and taught me everything about plants. Over time, gardening became more than a hobby. It became a way to make a difference, to bring life where it's needed most." Sarah nodded. "For many of us, gardening is hope and resilience. It proves life can thrive even in harsh conditions." The Valari listened, absorbing the stories and realizing extreme gardening was not just about plants. It was a testament to human spirit and perseverance. As their time on Earth ended, the Valari felt admiration for their human friends. They had seen the power of determination and creativity firsthand. Before departing, Norks addressed her team. "We've learned so much from humans. Their ability to cultivate life in the harshest places reflects incredible resilience and ingenuity. Let's bring these lessons back to Velar and apply them in our own endeavors." The Valari bid farewell to Jake and his team, promising to share knowledge and maintain contact. As their ship ascended, Norks felt excitement for the future. Back on Velar, the exploration team shared their experiences. Inspired by human ingenuity, they began experimenting with extreme gardening, adapting techniques to Velar's environment. Gradually, barren lands transformed into flourishing gardens, bringing new life and hope to their planet. The Valari's newfound passion for extreme gardening deepened their bond with humanity, bridging worlds through the shared joy of nurturing life. They exchanged ideas, seeds, and stories, fostering camaraderie and mutual respect. The harshest deserts of Velker bloomed with vibrant flowers, the coldest regions sprouted resilient plants, and even the most inhospitable areas transformed into lush gardens. The Valari's dedication to cultivating life in extreme conditions not only beautified their planet but also provided essential resources and enhanced their quality of life. One particularly challenging project involved greening the arid region of Clorin, a place barren for centuries. Using knowledge gained from humans, the Valari developed a new type of hardy plant capable of surviving with minimal water and nutrients. Norks and her team worked tirelessly, setting up irrigation systems and planting seeds. The process was slow and painstaking, but they were determined to succeed. Over time, the first signs of life appeared, tiny green shoots breaking through the cracked earth, a symbol of hope and renewal. As the project progressed, more Valari joined the effort, and the once barren landscape gradually became a vibrant garden teeming with life. The success of the Clorin project became a symbol of what could be achieved through determination and innovation. Years passed, and the Valari earned fame throughout the galaxy for their extraordinary gardening skills. They credited their achievements to the lessons learned from humans and their relentless pursuit of knowledge and ingenuity. Velar's efforts soon extended beyond their planet. They began sharing expertise with other species, helping them transform harsh environments into thriving ecosystems. This collaborative spirit brought civilizations closer, fostering peace and understanding. One day, as Norks walked through a flourishing garden on Velker, she received a message from Jake, a photo of a new garden he and his team had cultivated on Earth, with a note that read, "For our friends on Velker who taught us that anything is possible." Norks smiled, her heart filled with pride and gratitude. The friendship between humans and Valari had grown strong, rooted in their shared love of gardening and determination to make the universe more beautiful. The impact of extreme gardening continued to spread across the galaxy. On Earth, the practice evolved into a global movement, inspiring millions to transform their environments. Communities in drought-stricken areas adopted techniques pioneered by extreme gardeners. Urban centers saw a rise in vertical gardens and green rooftops, bringing nature back into concrete jungles. Even the most unexpected places began to bloom. Jake and his team became ambassadors of the movement, traveling the world to share knowledge and inspire others. They held workshops, wrote books, and appeared on broadcasts, spreading the message that with creativity and perseverance, anything is possible. To celebrate the success of extreme gardening, A grand event was organized on Earth. Representatives from different planets, including Velker, were invited. It was a celebration of life, resilience, and the unbreakable bond between species. Held in a massive botanical garden, it showcased the achievements of extreme gardeners. As Norks and her team arrived, they were welcomed by Jake and his group, who led them on a special tour. "This garden is a symbol of what we can achieve together," Jake said, guiding the Valari through lush pathways. "It reminds us that life can thrive even in the toughest conditions." The garden was a marvel of biodiversity, featuring plants from different planets and environments. Sections were dedicated to desert flora, underwater gardens, and even a replica of the Chlorin Garden on Velker. Each area told a story of perseverance and innovation. Walking through the garden, Norks felt a deep sense of fulfillment. What had begun as simple curiosity had blossomed into something extraordinary. The bond between humans and Valari enriched their lives and brought hope to many. As the celebration continued, discussions about the future of extreme gardening took center stage. Scientists, gardeners, and enthusiasts from various species shared ideas and visions, exploring new technologies, sustainable practices, and even cultivating gardens on uninhabited planets. The Valari presented innovations like air and soil-purifying plants, while humans shared advances in hydroponics and vertical farming, revolutionizing urban gardening. The event became a melting pot of collaboration, demonstrating what could be achieved when species work together toward a common goal. As the event concluded, Norks and Jake stood side by side, overlooking the garden. "It's amazing how far we've come," Norks said, awe in her voice. A simple visit to Earth turned into a movement changing so many lives. Jake nodded. "And it's only the beginning. There's still so much to explore, so many challenges to overcome. But together we can achieve anything." The bond between humans and Valari had grown strong, rooted in shared passion and determination to beautify the universe. They had proven that life could thrive even in harsh conditions and that through collaboration and innovation, any obstacle could be overcome. As the Valari prepared to return home, they carried renewed purpose and inspiration. Lessons learned from humans would continue to guide their endeavors, and the interspecies bond remained unbroken. On Earth, extreme gardening continued to flourish, inspiring new generations to transform their environments. The spirit of exploration and innovation that had united humans and Valari would drive them forward, pushing the boundaries of possibility. And so, the legacy of extreme gardening endured, a testament to perseverance, creativity, and the unbreakable bond between two extraordinary species. Together, they had shown that with determination and ingenuity, life could flourish even in the harshest conditions, making the universe a more beautiful place.